Happy Monday, everybody. We have a lot to get to today. It's the holiday season. And I thought, well, what says Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year better than trade wars, which will be our subject today. And this is why no one invites me to holiday parties. But beyond that, lots of clients have said, hey, Greg, President Trump's going to come in and all these tariffs are going to come in. What's that going to do to inflation? What's going to do to the markets? So let's address it even before he takes office. Let's go down memory lane. Remember when he took office back in 2017, he renegotiated all those trade deals. NAFTA, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, started talking about tariffs, did some tariffs, and you would think that 4 years later, when President Biden came in, that he would reverse all this. Actually, he didn't. In fact, he went the other way. He got more restrictive on things. This is a headline from 2022 or 2023, but this story was about strict restrictions on US high tech, critical AI parts. All of it meant to limit China's ability to compete in the AI market. And not only that, he restricted not just for the chips themselves, but for the heavy machinery, the manufacturing capability parts that could be sent over there so they could make their own. And the whole idea was let's make it tougher and tougher. So this trade war thing's been going on for quite a while. And by the way, China is now fighting back. So here's a headline about drone wars. And China is going to not be sending as many drones over to us, but it's more than that. What goes into these things? Well, you've got graphite, you've got gallium, you've got antimony, you've got lithium. There are all kinds of rare earth elements that go into making these drones, and lots of our weapon systems, they are restricting those. So now it's a national defense thing as well as a trade thing. And you start to see how all this conflict is starting to come together. And now President Trump is saying, fine, we're going to do more tariffs, not just on you, but on Europe and any other country that is restricting or making it more difficult for America to rebuild its industrial base. And here's our issue. Trade around the globe is actually way out of balance. China's actually having trouble with some of their neighbors with trade. Clearly, we've got trade problems in Germany, which is deindustrializing. France has been deindustrializing for a long time. Everything's out of whack. So one thing about President Trump, he is a disruptor, and he does get the talks going for how are we going to work through all this. So what are we looking forward to next year? I suspect more of this, and this will seem odd to you, but I'm glad we're going through it. This has to be addressed. And so many countries have so long have just been playing along. And if it goes on too long, the tensions will build up to a point where it breaks. Let's address it now. Does that mean that there's going to be conflict next year over trade? Yes. Are we anticipating this? Yes. What's the common denominator, though? And all that stuff we just talked about, natural resources. It's all about the natural resources that go into making all of these things and the imbalance of trade that then follows because of it. This is why we are invested as we are. I can't actually predict how the tariffs are going to work out. But I do know this, the center of gravity of all of it will be commodities and natural resources. So buckle up. We've told you that. More volatility next year, but I believe we are on the right track. And with that, Happy New Year, and I'll turn it over to Walt.